Putraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Ramanama Sada Kheda Bhave Daya Vanata Pinate Jari Pavana. Okay, Ramanama Sada Kheda Bhave Daya Vanata Pinate Jari Pavanate Kadimoda Sahata Swabha Sarasa Me Sugo Renuka Ghatraje Bhurume Meru Bhujetraga Kanure Gosume Sarasa Bhaswataha Sada Modika Tena va parijatena pitana va yadave bhadakheda samanamara Sarasa samadhata kshibhumna dhama susitaya sadhvasa viha reme kshemyaram asurasaraha harasara sumaramya ksheme reha visadhvasa yatasi sumadhamna bhukshita dhama sasarasa. So we finished till the 8th Anuloma and Pratiloma Padyam. We'll just go over quickly what is the story till now. In the Anuloma Padyam, Rama has already married Sita and he has come back to Ayodhya. This shloka, Sarasa Sama Dhata Akshi Bhumna Dhamasu Sitaya Sadhvasa Sadhvasa Viha Reme Kshemyaram Asura Saraha. In this shloka, he describes how Sita and Rama were happy in Ayodhya after the marriage. They came back. So Vivahanantaram Atra Ramaha Saketam Prapya Swageheshu Dhamasu Sitaya Reme Sitaya Sakam Sitaya Saha Reme Iha iti Ayodhyayam सः कीदृशः रामः इति चेत् आसुरसारः यः असुरैः सह युद्धं कृत्वा तेषां बलं हन्ति तेषां बलं नाशयति तादृशः रामः सीतया सह सुखी आसीत्. So and then whereas it is also indicative that he was extremely unhappy when Sita was separated from him. His two eyes, Akshi Bhumna, his eyes are both soft and beautiful. It is also manoharam, attractive. Hence, it is equal to, or it can, it makes the lotuses feel like it actually makes us think that the lotuses are more uneven. That is, they are not equal at all to the eyes of Rama. So Sarasa Asama Dhata, one who gives asamatvam to the Sarasa, to the lotuses, because of the beauty of his eyes. So it is more, sometimes when a more beautiful object comes in, we think that this object is beautiful. But then you see another object which is even more beautiful than this, then you suddenly feel, oh, the new object seems to increase this the feeling that the first object was not so beautiful after all. You know, it changes our perspective. Tatha asti Ramasya netreti. Now in the Pratilomam, Rukmini comes back to Dwaraka with Krishna. So she went home with Krishna. Hara Sara Sumaramya Kshemereha Visadvasa Ya Atasi Sumadhamna Bhukshita Dhama Sasara Sa Atasi Sumadhamna Bhukshita Saha Sasara. She went home with Krishna. How was Rukmini? Hara Sara Suma Ramya Kshema Ireha Visadvasa. So this is Ira Iha Sadvasa. So Rukmini, she was wearing that Parijata Pushpam which Narada brought, and Narada gave it to Krishna. Krishna immediately gave it to Rukmini, who was standing beside him. And they were both doing that vratam at Raivataka Parvata. So as soon as she placed it, Ingitagnya iti purva muktam, she understood what Krishna meant and she immediately placed that flower on her head. So, and that flower enhanced her beauty it was as lovely as a hara. Hara here refers to a pearl necklace. So she was wearing that flower, Suma, and then Ramya Kshema, she is also the repository or the Bhumi Bhuta for Saundaryam. And then Ira, Kshemera, Ramya Kshema Ira, one who is the place of attractive beauty or attractive auspiciousness also, Kshemam, right? And Visadhvasa, she had no fear from co-wives now. Nobody is going to tease her because she is looking more beautiful and she has this Parijata Pushpam on her head. And Krishna has shown favor by giving that flower only to her. So Visadhvasa, Sapatnibhyaha tasyaha bhayastu bhayam nasti iti bhayarahita sa. Bhukshita Ragnya Atra Ragnya iti Krishnena saha sa sasara griham agat. Dhama sasara. She went to her house with Krishna, who was who had the lustre of Atasi Pushpam. Atasi also is a dark colored flower. You can also have a golden colored flower. I did not know that before, which is a good this thing. Anyway, now let's move on to 9a. Sagasa bharate Sagasa bharataye bhamabhata manyumattaya satra madhyamaya tape potaya dhigata rasa. The pratilomam is saratagadhiya tapo peta ya madhyamatrasa madhyamatrasa yattamanyumata bhama bhayeta rabhasa ghasa. How Venkatadhwari's expertise is that he is able to reflect the same mood in both the Anuloma and the Pratiloma Padyam. We saw how Rama and Sita came in the first few shlokas also. He describes how Rama was and how Krishna was, then how Dwaraka was and how this thing is, right? And then slowly 1 minute. My audio seems to be fine. I don't know. I hope it's better now. If it's too, yeah, okay. Yeah, mine was a little low. Sorry. Okay. Sagasa, in the first few shlokas, he spoke about Rama and then Dwaraka, Ayodhya and Dwaraka, Rama and Krishna, how they both went here, how they both went, and how she received Paridat. But he tries to keep the theme in a way very similar here. Following that, in this 9th shloka also, he describes the anger of Kaikeyi on one side and the anger of Satyabhama on the other side. That's why it makes it even more beautiful to view it side by side instead of just looking at Anuloma Padyam 30 shlokas and then Pratiloma Padyam. It's like reading only the Purana. We don't see the expertise of the poet. Only if we evaluate it in this manner, we see how he has brought in the theme also in a very beautiful manner. So this is an Anushtup shloka. So let's go over the Anuloma Padyam here. Sagasa Bharataya Ibhama Bhata Manyumattaya Sa Atra Madhyamaya Tape Potaya Adhigata Rasa. This is the Padacheda. Atra Ibhama Bhata Sa Rasa Manyumattaya Tape Sagasa Madhyamaya Potaya Bharataya Adhigata. So the Chandas here is Anushtup, which is very, we've been seeing some of the Padyams here in Anushtup, Ashtakshara, Panchamam Laghu Sarvatra, Saptamam Dvichaturthayoho, Guru Shashtam Cha Padanam Chaturnam Syad Anuštubhi. In all 4 padas, the 5th letter is Laghu, the 6th letter is Guru. In the 2nd and 4th, the 7th letter is Laghu. Okay, this is the Lakshanam here. this follows. There is no yati bhanga. There is no problem with the meter in this shloka. So that's fine. Now let's look at the shloka here. Sagasa bharataya ibhamata manyumattaya sa atra madhyamaya tape potaya adhigata rasa. So in Ayodhya, the earth that was, rasa, most of the adjectives here are for the earth, which was brought, which was given to Bharata, which was attained by Kaikeyi for Bharata. So here it describes her tapam, her grief, her kopam, anger, and her actions also in one shloka. So there is another shloka also. The following shloka also describes her, the way she got vanavasam for Rama. In this first shloka, Bharataya Rajyam Varnitam Vartate. In the next shloka, she is going to describe Ramaya Vanamasaha Katham Prapyate iti Dashame Shloke Varnyate. Now, Sagasa Sa Atra Ayodhyayam Ibhama Bhata Rasa. Now, I told you that these are going to be the adjectives for the earth. Bhumi Rasa iti Bhumihi Evatra. So, Rasa, how was Rasa? Ibhama Bhata. Ibhama Bhata, it was Ibha is Gajaha, Ma Lakshmihi, Ibha Ma iti Gajalakshmi. Gajalakshmi is a kind of wealth which is, so elephant is a royal symbol. So it is a symbol of the king. So one who shines with the symbol of the king. So that is the earth along with the sovereignty is indicated by the word Ibhama Bhata Rasa. So Ibhamaya Bhata Rasa, the earth which is shining with Gajalakshmi, Sa Rasa. Sa Rasa Prasiddha Prithvi iti. So Rasa here in Amarakosha, Bhur Bhumir Achalananta Rasa Vishwambhara Sthira. So Rasa is another padam, paryaya padam for Bhuhu, Bhumihi, Achala, one who does not move at all. Imagine if the earth just spins out of the orbit, what would happen to us? The gravity would be gone, whatever, So Achala, iti, Sthira, or from our perspective, she is Sthira. If we feel that she is constantly moving, it will create havoc in our mind. So Achala, Sa, Ananta. There is a feeling that there is so much of space, undiscovered space in this Bhumi, so much so that it feels that Bhumi is Ananta. Vishwambhara, one who is capable of carrying the weight of the entire world. Sthira, Achala, both are same. So Rasa also is a very specific term because it's from the Bhumi that we obtain all of the rasam. Shad rasaha tu bhumau eva vartante. Tasmat karanadeva, in fruits or in vegetables, why do we have the 6 type of rasa? The plants take the rasam from the bhumi. So bhumi is supposed to have all the rasam within her. So during in Bhagavatam there is an episode of Prithu Maharaja. You should go through that section to understand how the Bhumi lost all of its rasam, essence, and Prithu Maharaja was the cowherd who made the Bhumi into a Gorupam, and then he milked the cow in the form of Bhumi and milked riches out of the Bhumi. So in other words, it's an imagery to say that a very crafty person can reap whatever he can. Suvarna Pushpam Prativim, Chinvanti, Trayaha Purushaha. There are 3 people in this world who are able to get the riches out of this Bhumi. So the Bhumi is filled with so much of essence. That is why she is called Rasa. Now here, this particular Bhumi which we are talking about is the Rajyam that is going to go to Bharata. So Sa Rasa Prasiddha Bhumihi Gajalakshmiya Shobhate. Why is that? So this is not there in the Vyakhyanam. So my understanding is Gajarudhaha Raja eva Shobhate. So it is a royal symbol that the king enters into the palace for the first time before his Rajyabhishekam on an elephant. So she wanted Rajya Paripalanam for Bharata. So she only wanted the bhumi which is conducive for Rajya Paripalana. If you look at Dandakaranyam, that also belongs to Koshala Desha. So Rama, during when he is in his Vanavasam, there are many places where he says, this is under Bharata's rule, and I have been sent to take care of this portion of the bhumi. So that is also belonging to Kosala Desha. When he says, even during Valivadha, he says, this is a mrigaya, this is a hunting expedition, so I can kill. That's the explanation he gives to Vali there. So anyway, she wanted only that portion of the bhumi, which is city, and which can be considered as a rajyam here. That is why he uses the adjective ibhama bhata rasa, the bhumi portion, which is indicative of Gajalakshmi, that is indicative of the sovereignty, royalty. Okay. Next is Manyumattaya. Now we have finished Manyumattaya madhyamaya prapta. 1 minute, let me just look at the Anvaya here. Sa ibhamata sa rasa manyumattaya tape sagasa madhyamaya. Okay, got it. Manyumatta here refers to because of anger. So she who has anger here, Manyumati. Manyuhu asya asti iti Manyumati. Manyuhu is kopam. And Manyumatta is the bhavam of someone who is angry. So Manyumattaya Madhyama. Okay. Hold on. I think I need to take a pause here. I'm a little confused. This Manyumattaya is not an adjective to her, but it is because of anger. You take it as a reason here, hetu. So because of the reason that she has kopam. Now when you do this kind of an samasta padam, or when you do a kind of a vyutpatti for this kind of a word, it actually refers to the manyu again. So let's go over this padam for a minute. So manyuhu asyaha asti iti manyumati. When you look at that, one who has kopam, manyu, take it as the first step, manyu, which is the anger. One who has anger is she, which is Kaikeyi here. And the quality of her is again going back to manyu. So this is the third step. You are going back to it. Manyumatyaha bhavaha. What is the quality of an angry person? Anger. So it comes back to the level 1. You usually use this gandhavatvam prithivyaha lakshanam ityuktam. So gandhaha, gandhavati prithivi, gandhavatyaha bhavaha, gandhavatvam. So that the bhava goes back to the step 1, which is manyu again. So it is a way of writing it, that's all. So because of the anger that was present within her, you can translate it in that manner. So Manyumattaya, because of that anger she had, she was also sagasa. So sagasa, tape sagasa. She was very aggrieved because of her this thing. Now this is a reference to Kaikeyi here in Tritiya Vibhakti. Sagasa. Sagaha iti padam. Sagasa papaya, sapapaya, one who has papam with her. So tape, why did she do this sort of a sin of asking, Rama to go to the forest, or getting the rajyam for Bharata at the very opportune moment where everybody was being happy? She had to create a situation but because of which everybody started feeling sad here. So sa papa sa, and that papam was because she was suffering from an anguish in her mind. Tape, tapa vishaye, the saptami here is vishaya saptami, or you can take it as tape sati, when she was suffering from grief. So swaputra rajya alabha prayukte santape sati. Manthara comes in and injects that idea that your son is not getting there. That is where she splits the mind. Until then, Kaikeyi was so happy that Rama was getting the rajyam. So Manthara comes in and says, your son has not got it. It is Kausalya's son who has got it, and she is going to enjoy all of the pleasures of a queen mother. You are not going to enjoy it. So she comes and brings in that tapam to her. So when Kaikeyi was suffering from tapa, she did the papam. So Ramasya rajya vighna rupam eva papam atra taya kritam. So tadrishaya Kaikeya ya agasa vartate. Sagasaha, sagaha, agasasaha vidyate iti sagaha. Both for papam and aparadham, you can have the word agaha. Agaha is papam here. And she who was with the papam, agasa saha vidyate. So sagaha. Taya sagasa. Agaha, sagaha, sagasau, sagasaha. It becomes a sakaranta padam in Strilingam referring to Kaikeyi. So sapapaya. One who is with the sin, because she was very sad that Bharata did not get the kingdom. Madhyamaya, by Kaikeyi, who was the middle bharya. Madhyamaya bharyaya Bharata jananyan irukku. See, so I think Sumitra, some people say that Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi was the Kanishta iti uktam. But then there are references somewhere where she is the middle person. No, irukku. So I was just confused because of that also. So Kausalya was first and then Sumitra. Kaikeyi was the middle person. So if you have doubts, you can keep your questions to the end. We will address it then. Okay. Usually we know that Sumitra is the middle wife and Kaikeyi was the last wife, and so she was the Priya. But apparently she is Madhyama here. So she is the Madhyama Bharya, Bharata Janani. She is the mother of Bharata. Potaya, for her son, Putraya, Bharataya. Bharataya is also given here. So Potaya, Bharataya. Potam usually refers to some animal child, cub, a lion cub or something like that. But then here the poet takes it as a child, Putraya. So Swaputraya, Bharataya. Sa rasa adhigata, the bhumi was got, prapta, from whom? Dasharatat. So the bhumi was got from Dasharatha by Madhyamaya Sagasa, by Kaikeyi, who was with the papam. That is, she had created an obstacle for Rama's obtaining that bhumi. Tape Sagasa. Why was she performing this? Why did she do this sin? It was because she was suffering from anguish that Bharata did not get the Rajyam. How did she get the bhumi? Out of anger. Manyumattaya. Out of anger, she got this bhumi, and this bhumi which has Gajalakshmi as its symbol, and it was shining with the Gajalakshmi. Okay. Now we move on to the Pratiloma Padyam. Saratagadhiya tapopeta ya madhyamatrasa yattamanyumata bhama bhayeta rabhasagasa. The Padacheda here is Sarataga Dhiya Tapopeta Ya Madhyamatrasa Ya Attamanyumata. Again, Manyu. He uses that very beautifully here. Manyumata, Bhama, Bhayeta, Rabhasagasa. The Anvaya here, there are two Ya, Yat Padam. So we have to fit in somehow. Ya Madhyamatrasa, Ya Saratagadhiya, Bhama, Rabhasa, Agasa, Attamanyumata, Bhayeta, Tapopeta, Babhuva. Here the Kriya Padam here is just Babhuva or Adhigata in the Anulomam. Adhigata was obtained, adhigata, prapta. Here also you can take it as upeta, babhuva. You can use babhuva everywhere, how many ever times you want. So tapopeta, babhuva. How was Satyabhama? Now, the description in Harivamsha Puranam is very nice about how the rumor spreads within the Antahpuram. As soon as Rukmini wore that pushpam, and that Krishna gave it to her, immediately the news started slowly. People started talking about it, how beautiful she is, how she is shining with the Parijata Pushpam, and how Krishna is, she has now become Krishna's favorite, and all that. This kind of a news started slowly spreading among the servants, and it went to the ears of Bhama, Satyabhama. Now, Madhyamatrasa. Now here is a very interesting word that he uses. Madhyamaha, one whose madhya, waist. She has a very slim waist. All of these are descriptions of Satyabhama here. And as an adjective to her, it's in Strilinga Padam. So Madhyamatrasa. Madhyamaha is Madhyarupaha, which is her waist. She has a waist which is equal to, which is like a trasa, which is like that of a dust mite. We say a dust mote or something like that. So this, what is this trasarenu or sorry, not trarenu, it is trasarenu. I made a mistake here. It should be trasarenuhu yasyahasa. That is, her waist is such that தமிழ்ல ஒன்னு சொல்லுவோம், இல்லாதது போல் இருக்கிறதும்பா. It's as if it is absent. So it is as slim that it is something that we can only anumeya shobhi ityuktam Kalidasena Parvati Vishaye, when he describes, because there is a rashana, because there is that hip chain that she is wearing, it is so slim that I have to deduce that she has one, otherwise it is not even visible, it seems. So the waist is so slim and alpa. So alpa madhya sa Satyabhama iti. Now what is this trasarenu? In Manusmriti there is a definition for this. Jalantaragate bhanau sukshmam yad drishyate rajaha prathamam tat pramananam trasarenum prachakshate. In Tarkasangraha, the creation happens by anu joining together. If you have an exposure to Tarkasangraha or any Nyaya Shastra, the creation of every Mahabhuta starts from anu or atom. Two atoms get together. So anuhu and anuhu, they both, when they come together, it is called a vyanukam. It is a set of two. So that becomes the next step. Now, three of these dvyanukas join together and become a trianukam, which is the first step wherein our naked eye can view. We cannot see the atom. We cannot see dvyanukam, which is made of two atoms. Trianukam is not made of three atoms. That is where Tarkasangraha differs. It is made up of three dvyanukams, which means it has 6 atoms. So it is only at that point that we can view. And what do these Tarkikas call this? it is how do we view it? How do we know that Trasarenu is the portion that we know? This Trasarenu is something, when you open the windows and there is sunlight coming, you will see some particles floating in the air, in that sunlight. That particle is called Trasarenu. If you shut the window, you're not going to be seeing those dust mites, but those will be seen when the sunlight comes in through the window. So, Jalantaragate Bhanau. When the sun comes in the space of a window, Sukshmam Yat Rajaha Drishyate, the very subtle Rajaha, the very subtle dust that is seen through that, in that sunlight, that Pramananam Prathamam Trasarenum Prachakshate. That is the first thing that we can see with our eye. And that is called Trasarenu. So her Madhyama, her waist, is as alpam as a Trasarenu. She has such a slim waist. Okay, this is the first adjective for Satyabhama, which means she is also very proud that she is beautiful. So that is also included here. Sarataga dhiya. Saratam gacchati iti saratagaha. Sarataga. Sarataga dhihi yasyaha sa. Or sarataga dhiya, you can take it as one who is indicated by Sarataga dhihi, one who has a buddhi, or with her buddhi, which can grasp the saram, tadrisha buddhya saha, buddhya upalakshita saha, or you can take it as one who has that buddhi, and with that kind of a buddhi which can grasp the essence of everything, with that buddhi, she, even though she could grasp the essence of that everything in front of her, still she became angry, she became very sad, and she was also a little fearful of Rukmini's popularity. So this is despite that, Saratagadhiya api iti vaktavyam tatra. So Saraha is Sreshtha, anything that is essence. Sarata is the quality of it being an essence. Saratam gacchati dhihi. So one whose buddhi can pick out the essence in objects. So Saratagadhihi. With that buddhi, Sarataga Sreshtatvam Praptaya Buddhya Sa Kidrishi Bhuta. Even though she could grasp all the essence of things, that is, if Krishna has given that flower to Rukmini, it is that flower which is giving her that beauty, and it also shows that Krishna has acknowledged the vratam that she is following. She's the she's the one who just places one tulasi as a during Tulabharam. There is a story that Rukmini just places one tulasi, whereas Satyabhama comes and offers all of her jewels there, and still it could not satisfy Krishna's bharam. And when Rukmini places just one tulasi leaf, it just completely makes it equal. So bhakti is much more than Lakshmi. She knows that. Still, for the sake of this Leela, she has to pick out all that, right? So, Saratagadhiya api, even though she is a person who understands, she, with her mind which can pick out the essence of things, and she also knows that it is going to only last for 1 year. Rukmini will enjoy this only for 1 year. She knows that, but still, sometimes it can cloud our judgment. Rabhasa without thinking, even though she can pick out, if she stops and thinks about things, she can understand what is going on in the world, because she is an avatara. All said and done, bhumehe avataraha iti. Lakshmi, Bhudevi and Sri Devi, right? So Rukmini is the avataram of Lakshmi and she is the avataram of Bhumi herself. Even though that is the case, still Rabhasa, without thinking, analochya krita sa agasa papena aparadhena This aparadha refers to Krishna's fault. Because of the aparadham that Krishna did, here it is not papam. Giving it to Rukmani is not a sin that he will have to face. It is only an aparadha that he does to just increase that love quarrel, so agasa here refers to aparadha. In the Anuloma Shloka, agaha referred to papam, because Kaikeyi incurred a sin of stopping that, Rajya Bharam, Rajya Vignam Akarotsa iti karanat tatra tu Papa Rupameva asit, atra Aparadha Rupam agaha. Agasa with an aparadha, because of an aparadha, you take this as a hetu tritiya, because of the aparadham or mistake, Krishna's fault of giving this parijata pushpam to Rukmani, she became angry. Attamanyumata. Grihita kopatmaka. So manyuhu here kopam. Kopam eva matam. Abhiprayah. That she only, the kopa, anger was her only aim or purpose or matam. That was her only. Some people, they may see reason. But at that point, you know what? I want to be angry. I want to shout. I want to vent my anger. Sometimes you get into that mode. No, this is very similar to that kind of a mode. Even though her brain can pick out, reason out things, still Satyabhama preferred to show anger at that point towards Krishna because of the fault that he did by presenting Rukmani the flower. Attam swikritam. Attam manyu. Or manyuhu eva matam here. Manyu, anger is her purpose, and the one who had taken up anger as her aim. So tadrishi tadrik satyabhama, atta manyumata bhaya ita. She had gotten anger, but she also was a little afraid here. Bhayam ita, bhayam prapta, kimartham. There is always the fearing consequences of losing that love. Now Krishna has shown favoritism towards Rukmani, and all of the people in the Anthapuram are talking about it. So she has a fear. She will be forgotten. Now, the harem intrigues. There are many. You should read stories about that, where, when the king shows favor towards one wife, then the others feel threatened. They don't know if their position is secure or not. So it creates an insecurity in the mind of people. Bhayeta, bhayam ita. She had fear of just losing his attention here, more than anything. The other feeling that she had was tapa upeta abhut. So she also was filled with the sadness that she did not get the flower, or that she did not get the attention from Krishna. She doesn't mind if he gave her one flower, but he should have also given one more flower to Satyabhama. But that did not happen, right? So bhayeta, tapopeta, sa. Okay. Now here the word madhyamatrasa is an alankara. Madhyaha eva trasaha is a rupakam here. As I explained, it is madhyama bhagaha. Her waist is trasarenu. It is not, but there is a metaphor here. So he is superimposing the qualities of trasarenu onto the madhya bhaga. The trasarenu quality that he is superimposing is alpatvam. Okay, so that alpatvam alone is what you need to see. You should not take it as, oh, is her waist something that we can see only through the sunlight? Tatha nasti. You have to pick out only certain qualities and superimpose it for such comparisons. Okay, so as I told you, Anu is one atom. Dvyanukam has two of those, and three Dvyanukams become a Trianukam. And then four Trianukams come together to become Chaturanakam. So 6 into 4. There are 24 atoms in one Chaturanakam. This is how the Srishti Krama is described in Tarkashastra. Okay. Just to get some references from Ramayana and Harivamsha Puranam to show how the same words are actually used in Ramayana and in Harivamsha Purana as to how they entered into a fit of rage, you say, right? But there is something called, kopa griham. The Krodha Griham or the Kopa Griham is entering into a room where you just let go of all your ornaments, and then you change your dress into something white to show that you don't have that interest in dressing up and all that. So that is described in the Ayodhya Kanda of Ramayana. Tatas chitrani malyani divyani abharanani cha apavidhani kaikeya tani bhumim prapedire क्रोधागारे निपतिता सा बभौ मलिनांबरा एकवेणीं दृढं बद्धा not badva बद्धा गतसत्वा इव किन्नरी. Here that how a woman in anger would be is being described here in this Ayodhya Kandam 10th Adhyaya. Chitrani, Vichitra Varnani, Malyani, Divyani, Abharanani, all the divine ornaments and different colored necklaces and chains that she was wearing were all removed, Apavidhani, by Kaikeyi. Tani bhumim prapedire. All of those ornaments went to the ground. They were just strewn in the ground. And then she fell down. That is, she just laid down on the ground in the krodhagara. Krodha, kopam, anger. Agaraha is a house. Agaram or agara is a house. Here you take it as a specific room where they go and just display that they are in anger. Malina ambara, she was wearing dirty clothes. She did not take a bath and take on fresh clothes. So Malina ambara, ekaveni, her hair was not ornamented or decorated and all that, but her hair was tied in a braid. One braid is usually tied by women who are either in viraham or in kopam. There are two times when women can wear the otta pinnal. So one braid was worn in those days by women who were either in separation from their husband or when they are angry. Then they were Ekavenim, Dridam Baddha, Gatasatva. It was as if she had no strength at all. Tadrishi Kinnari Iva Asit. Kinnari here refers to some wild forest woman who does not worry about, whether she is wearing good clothes or not, or fresh clothes. She was just like a wild woman, not a person who was the wife of a king. Satyabhama also took on a very similar posture here. Samutsrijanti vasanam sakunkumam shuchismita shuklatama ekam amshukam jagraha roshakulitena chetasa vanhes tada shririta vardhita indhana. Vasanam sakunkumam vasanam samutsrijanti. She did not wear red colored clothes, which was indicative of the royalty, but she took on white clothes. Shuchismita, shuklatama, she was also white, and ekam ampshukam jagraha. She only took one vastram, eka vastram. Otherwise, they are supposed to wear two vastram, one in the bottom and one on top. Whereas here, she took on just one amshukam, just one top, one vastram. Rosha kulitena chetasa. Her mind was completely akulitam, confused because of rosha, anger here. Tada vardhita indhana shrihi iva asit. So she was like Lakshmi, she was shining like Lakshmi, but in fire. Vardhita indhana. Indhanam is who is fueled. She is like Vannehe Shrihi Iva Asit. She was like the beauty of fire, which was, fueled by people. The talks that were going on in the Antahpuram fueled her, and it was like the beauty of a fire. So this is the Krodhagaram is also mentioned in another shloka in I have taken that reference also. So Sadadarsha Priyam Durat Krodhagara Gatam Tada. Krishna, when he enters in the next chapter, 66th chapter, he sees her in that Krodhagara Gatam. She is present in that Krodhagara, in that house of anger. Okay. Now I'll just go over the bhavartha for both shlokas and then you can ask questions. Okay, why is this suddenly here? Sorry. Kaikeyaha kopaha varnitaha atra Ramaya Rajyam iti nischite sati. So when it was decided that this thing has to be given for Rama, Dasharathasya madhyama bharya Kaikeyi dukkhita jata. She became very upset here. So so Rama, because she caused the sin, that is, she stopped Rama from getting Rajyam. It was a sin of causing anguish or grief for so many people in the country. Swaputraha prithivim palayetiti tasyaha asha asit. So she got that Prithvi from Dasharatha. So Swaputraha Rajachinna Rupaya Gajalakshmya Shobhitam Prithivim Paripalayet. He should get this bhumi which shines with Gajalakshmi. That is the chinnam for a royalty. So she wanted that. That was her hope. So she got the bhumi from Dasharatha for Bharata. In the Pratiloma Padyam, we have Bhama's Kopam and Satyabhama, who has a very beautiful waist, slim waist. She also can understand all the essence from things. Sakala Vishayeshu Saram Nishkrishya. Having taken the Saram, she is able to understand things. But Parijata Pushpasya Alabhena Santapita Jata. She became very upset because she did not get the flower, which is indicative of Krishna's love also. So, Rukminyai eva divya pushpam adat iti karanat Krishne aparadham manyamana. She said that, okay, it is Krishna's fault. It's not Rukmini's fault here. So, she has to show her anger only to Krishna. And so, she took on Kopam as her only purpose or aim. Manyumeva sharanam iti kopam chakara. Now, if you have any questions, you can raise your hands. I will unmute. Okay, you can unmute yourself. Akash, yeah.
Namaste. This was fantastic, and I was really fascinated by Madhyamatrasa, and I was reminded of this Mithya Kalpita Madhyodari, and I was wondering. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting where that is from. Maybe it's a very popular text. But I was just reminded of how just to think of something, to think of the waste as something that's even to think of it, one has to think of it as Maya or false.
Oh, that's a nice one.
And I was wondering about this word Vishwambhara, which came actually just as an explanation, probably from Amarkosha. And I was
Right.
wondering if it has any association with the word scorpion, because I did find somewhere, maybe in the Sushruta Samhita, that a scorpion is also called as a Vishwambhara. And I was just wondering if there is any such association with the word. I'm sorry, this is tangent.
Vishambhara could be the word
I
for
see.
scorpion,
I see.
not Vishwambhara. So Visham dharati iti Visham dhara. So a scorpion has poison in its tail. So
Yes.
the story goes that, when Shiva took in the Halahala Visham, the droplets that fell into the bhumi was taken by the scorpion, some were taken by the snakes. So Vishambhara could be the word for a scorpion.
And as I spoke, I also just suddenly realized maybe it's also because of the serpent Ananta, which holds the entire earth, and maybe it's a serpentine, or maybe it's a
That is possible.
reptilian,
Yes.
or some kind of association with that, which
Yes, that is possible. Right.
now, the reason why I asked is because there is this imagery that comes to my head, and it's about this goddess, emaciated goddess, who often has a scorpion lurking on her belly. And I was wondering if there's any
Wow.
textual.
Which devata is this? I have no clue.
I would love to share maybe images.
Oh, sure. Yeah. In the group, maybe if you are in the WhatsApp group, it'll be
Yes, I
nice
am.
to know about it. But yeah.
Well, anyway, sorry, because this this Madhyamatrasa really took me to a tangent in your class.
Oh, okay. No
Truly
worries.
fantastic. Thank you so much. Sorry for wasting so much time. Sorry.
It's okay. Nidhi, Modi, you have a question? You can unmute yourself. Yeah. Namaste.
श्लोकं द्रष्टुं शक्नोमि वा अनुलोमपद्यं
which shloka?
दिस् 9th अनुलोम तत्र एकः शब्दः आसीत् मन्युमत्तया
मन्युमत्ता अस्तु
मन्युमत्ता तर्हि तत्र मन्युमत् इति अस्माभिः मन्युयुक्ता इत्यर्थे मतुक् प्रत्ययः योजितः सः तु ज्ञातः परम् अन्यः अपि भवितुम् अर्हति वा इति अहं चिन्तयन्ती आसम् मन्युना मत्ता इति यदि सा तर्हि मन्युमत्तया इति तृतीया भवितुम् अर्हति अतः मन्युमत्तया इति मतुप् कृत्वा पुनः मन्युमत्ता इति करणस्य अपेक्षया तद् भवेत् वा इति अहं केवलं चिन्तयन्ती आसम्
तत् एवं तु भवत्येव किन्तु यथा त्वयाक्तं तत्तु अतिसाधु एव ऐ लैक् देट् आल्सो मन्युना मत्ता सा इति इट् बिकम्स् एन् एड्जेक्टिव् टु कैकेयी सो मन्युमत्तया मन्युना मत्ता सा तया मध्यमया अस्तु साधु एव साधु एव एवं तु भवेत् एव दिस् बिकम्स् ए कारणं हियर् सो कोपकारणेन एवं सा
तथा टीकायां लिखितमस्ति वा
व्याख्याने वर्तते एवमेव तस्मात् मया एवम् उक्तं बट् देट् इस् ए वेरी गुड् दिस् थिङ्ग् ऐ विल् मेक् अ नोट् थैंक यू Komati Mhodaya, you have a question?
Yeah, what is the difference between papam and aparadham?
So, aparadham can also be very mild. That which can be done in, it's a love quarrel, or you just make a mistake. Mistake versus sin. So here, the mistake that Krishna did is just a simple thing of offering a flower to one wife instead of the other. And so that is just a mild thing here. Whereas if you take Kaikeyi's situation, there what she did affected an entire country there. So papam becomes even more and it has other consequences also.
இப்ப நம்ம இதுல அபராதம் விதித்தார் அப்படிங்கிறோம் that is a penalty
இல்ல கான்டெக்ஸ்ட்க்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி நம்ம மாத்திக்கணும் சோ
அபராதம் ஓகே பாப அபராதயோஹோ ஆகச அப்படிங்கும்போது ஆகஹங்கும்போது பாபம் is more serious than அபராதம்
yes
okay thanks
Namaste Sundar Srinivasan I can see yes you have a question
what is the difference between Rupakam and Upama
Rupakam is eva upama is iva if you know English similarities then you have simile
I got it.
Okay so one is metaphor one is simile avlada any other questions So Madhyama Nayika, there is a question in the question section, one of the classes of Nayika in poetic composition. Okay, so there is a Praudha, Madhyama and Mugdha Nayika. So these are three stages of a Nayika, a heroine. Mugdha Nayika is someone who is very shy and unable to express her kama. Express her desires is a mugdha naika. A madhyama naika is one who is able to express her love and at the same time she also feels lajja, she feels shy. So both the lajja and manmatha asha are 50-50 for her. Whereas a praudha naika is one who has extreme desire, who is able to openly express and propose to the other person, she does not show too much of shyness. So lajja is completely gone for her. This is a praudha naika. So here you cannot take it as a madhyama naika. There is no question of asha or lajja which is being mentioned in the shlokam. So the shlokam is more to do with anger and sadness. So we'd rather not think about that kind of a madhyama naika here. Yeah. Any other questions? Nidhi, you have raised your hands. You can just unmute yourself and ask if you have a question. Namaste. Okay, fine. Yeah. Then we'll just finish with the Mangala Charanam. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay, Namaste.